Next up, it's not as big a deal for you and I now because we're into our 30s, but I remember going to look about insurance when I was like, I don't know, it was probably 20, 21 years old. Maybe, no, I don't even know if I was that old. I was probably like 18, 19. And I wanted to insure a Honda CBR 600.
I did the same.
I could have bought a new bike every other year for what they wanted for the annual insurance premiums on that bike.
It's insane. It's insane. And honestly, from personal experience, when I went to look at 18, it got me out of it. I said, well, I'm just not going to look at a bike because I didn't think there was any other option. So I was like, wow, insurance is that much for a motorcycle. So I waited when there were plenty more options out there that I could have gone and got cheaper insurance and been riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, and so what I ended up doing, I just literally, we checked with every insurance company. I could not afford a full coverage policy. And I'm not exaggerating at the time. And keep in mind, I mean, we're going back 15 plus years at this point. They wanted $4,500 a year to insure a bike that I paid, I think at the time, like a little over $6,000 for. I was like, that's insane. I still bought the bike. I just put liability on it.
Yep.
And I locked it in a garage, and I was very careful about, because I had no theft insurance, none of that. So, I mean, I took a risk, but I mean, you could do the math and go, well, you get your bike stolen every, 15 months, and what you saved in insurance, you're going to get it back. Because I think my insurance ended up being, I don't know, it was probably like $300-400 a year. It wasn't awful, but it was just liability insurance. But I guess the point of this is, depending on your driving record, depending on your age, depending on the bike, and sport bikes typically are more to insure. It's kind of crazy. I went from a VFR 800 to the FJR 1300. The FJR was newer. It makes more power, is a more expensive motorcycle. My insurance went down. And the reason for that is, no offense to us, because we both own the bikes, or anyone else that rides them, it's kind of an old man's bike. I mean, my friends used to call it that and still kick their ass on it, but it's an old man's bike. And what I mean by that is it's an older, for the most part, it's older guys that are riding them. They're more responsible. They're more experienced. And they crash less. And they get stolen less because nobody wants to steal an FJR anyway. And so the insurance premiums are less on it. So, I mean, that's a big factor in it too, versus, we go out and buy the new, ZX-10 from Kawasaki. I mean, that thing's going to get stolen if you leave it out in the parking lot, and chances are, it's going to get crashed if it's a newbie rider on it. And that's why the insurance premiums cost more.
Yeah, so speaking probably more generally to the younger riders, don't get stuck in that trap of thinking, I got to have a cool bike. I got to get the sport bike. It's cool if you have a motorcycle.
Yeah, nobody really cares what it is. I mean, nope.
You're still going to have fun.
It's just fun. It really doesn't matter. So,